I'm here with another video, and in today's video we have an Xbox One console right here, and a client brought this in for servicing and maintenance. And as he says that it's overheating and the fan is making a lot of noise. And so in this video I'm going to open it up and see what's going on underneath and why you should do the maintenance or service. All right. Tools that you're going to be needing: it's an opening tool and screwdriver set. The screwdriver set I use is the UFIXTEK tool set. It comes with all the bits that you need. These are one of the best tool set that I have in the shop. So get yourself an UFIXTEK tool set or any screwdriver set. You will need an alcohol, and the most important one, you will need lots of working towel. So also, you will need some sort of, I'll try to find the link on this one, but they stopped selling them. So it's kind of hard. It's like a flat screwdriver, but it's kind of metal and not too sharp. It's easy to poke around and open this stuff with this one. Or you can use also a guitar pick. Anyway, so let's get into it. Let's get it started. Number one, you want to flip your Xbox to the part where you have this USB, side USB. And what you want to do, you want to put the opening tool right underneath, and you just want to lift it up. Go lifting it up, go all the way to the side, to the other side. There we go. And now you can just lift up this cover. Alright. Once the top cover is out, now you can see all the dust that is in here. There's enough dust. So we want to remove this tab here, so just by sliding it. Alright. Next, what you want to do, in order to release the back panel, you want to break the warranty label first. So cut through here. Make sure this warranty label is cut. And what you want to do here, you want to pull the bigger end, pull it upward with your finger, and this one with your thumb, press it down and just separate them. Just like that. Just once you see this little gap here, put your finger there so it stays like that. Now with the opening tool, you want to stick it right in here. I'll try to do this on the camera, and just go here underneath here. Go every 2-3 millimeters, just pop it. You're going to hear that it clicks. Another 3 centimeters, do another one. Go all the way to the corner. There we go. You want to do that all the way to the back side. These are the locks that you want to get loose. All right. Once you got it on that position, you can just go ahead and lift out the back, wiggle it around, and it should get loose. But don't yank it or anything, because there's a cable in the front end. We need to safely remove that cable. So once you have the back opened up like this, you want to put it down on its back and lift up the cover. Just bring this side upward, and then lift up, pull back slowly, gently, and you're going to see this connector right here. We want to lift up this connector, this flap right here, lift it up, and use that tool to just push these clips backward a little bit. I try to see if I can do it without sticking my head on the camera. There we go. And this ribbon cable should come out pretty easy. All right. Whoa. What a surprise. And you wonder why it was overheating, right? So I just call this one the dirtiest Xbox I ever seen. So this is why you should do your own maintenance or take it to somewhere to do their services. Alright, first thing first, let's go ahead and remove the front panel, because the front panel, it is really dirty. So to remove it, you want to just grab it from here, pull it backward gently, and with the other thumb, just go ahead and lift up this clip. Just like that. Now you can actually separate them and use that old toothbrush and clean this one. With an old toothbrush and air compressor, you can clean them nicely. Alright, in the front panel, let's go ahead and remove the Wi-Fi cable here, just by pulling it backward, straight. Disconnect the speaker. Now we're gonna grab our tool, screwdriver set. We're gonna be using torque number 10. Yeah. Using torque number 10, we're gonna remove all the screws that we see on the top panel here, except these 3 screws in there. All those big screws that have a little big head. These are all the same size, so don't worry about mismatching them. Just go ahead and remove them. Alright, next you want to grab a torque. One is smaller, which is torque number 8, I believe. 9. Grab a torque number 9 and remove the 2 screws on a Wi-Fi board right here. These are the tiny screws. Only on the Wi-Fi, and then you want to pull it evenly upward, because there is a jack there, so you want to disconnect this jack right from there. So move this to one side, and there's one big screw right there. Switch back to torque 10 and remove the big screw right there. Alright, you can disconnect this Wi-Fi jack from here, and so keep everything apart. Now we can go ahead and lift up this cover. Once you lift it up, there's a cable on this side. You just want to lift it up, bring it to one side, and pull this cable off the jack. Just grab the cable and pull it up towards the ceiling, and the cable should get disconnected. There's only one way it goes in, so don't worry about it. So yeah. Oh my god. Look at that. I wonder, how is this even alive? Is this even possible? Alright, I don't know where to start. Let's start by removing the hard drive by pulling this jack upward. Alright, remove the SATA cable by pulling this jack up. Grab the hard drive with a caddy, take it outside and clean it, don't drop it. Let's remove the optical drive by pulling this SATA cable. Pull the power cable upward and lift it up. And let's take it outside and clean it with a compressed air. Alright, and before we go any further, you want to remove the front panel by removing 1, 2, 3 screws with the torque number 9. Alright, once you remove that one, you want to lift up the cover and grab it from here. Don't grab it from here, otherwise you're going to break it. Grab it from here and pull it backward. This is kind of USB type stuff, connector. Now we're gonna grab it from here and just lift up the cover. This is the bottom tray, and this is the motherboard. So what I'm gonna do, we cannot separate them because there's an X clamp and there's a 4 screw that holds the heatsink towards this one. Before we remove this one, I'm gonna take it outside. I'm gonna clean it up with an air compressor, and I'll be back just in a sec. I took it outside and I cleaned it with an air compressor. Again, the air compressor that I used, is linked in the description. It's really good and handy. Look at the difference just by blowing the air, not even cleaning it with anything. Just I took it and I cleaned underneath everything. All right, now let's put the bottom tray on the side and start working on here. First, we want to remove these two clips just by pinching them and pulling it back. Same thing here, just pinch and pull back. The one on the other side, there's only one screw. They remove this screw right here, and the riser will come out. Unhook the fan from the motherboard. You might have to pull a little bit harder. This one really doesn't want to come out. I think it's toasted right in there. So I'm going to help it out by sticking a little bit of the screwdriver right underneath. Maybe I can help it out. There we go. Pretty much usually comes out by pulling it up just like any other jack. But very, very rare times you have to pull really hard. So I put a screwdriver right underneath. Try to lift it up a little bit, help it out. Anyway, once you remove the fan, you want to put it upside down. Torque number 8, remove the 4 screws right here. Again, make sure you use the right torque screw head. Alright, once you remove the screws from there, put it back. Now you want to hold it from here with the case, and you want to lift it up. No, actually, I'm sorry, but there's one more screw to remove. There's 2 screws on this end by the USB. Remove these ones with this torque number 10. And these 2 screws, so you want to remove by the USB. And the 2 screws by the power jack right here. Now you want to bring it upside down, normal position, and you just want to lift up the motherboard. Just like pull it out from this jack, grab it and pull it up a little bit, so you loosen it up. Pull it up and pull it towards yourself. And it should come out from the tray. And there is still a little of dust right underneath, so you can go ahead and clean that up. Now we need to remove this X clamp right here. The proper way of removing this one, I see many people doing it the wrong way. These X clamps, they have a little pad by the back right here. There's a little cut right here. You can stick a pointy screwdriver, just like a pointy, right at the back here. Okay? And once you stick it in the back, you want to pull it the other way around, and it should come out pretty easy. Same thing now on the opposite side. Pull at the back end, and then just wiggle it around. It should come out. If it doesn't come out a little bit, is up there, with a flat screwdriver, you can just help it, and it should come out pretty easy. Once you loosen up these 2, the last thing is with the last 2. Put at the back, just move it around, stick it in there, and there we go. Now easily pick it up. Those are these hooks right here. So you want to stick this one at the back of the hook. So you stick it at the back and just kind of jack it out, and it will come out. Now you can go ahead and lift up. There's some dust in here. All right. That's your CPU and APU. or I mean GPU inside the CPU. So this is the old thermal paste. We're gonna clean this one up and we're gonna install and put a new thermal paste. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna spray alcohol, grab a working towel and just rub it right on top, let it soak in. You can use a guitar pick to just scrub it off because the thermal paste is really toughen up there. Okay, go ahead and remove the excess of the thermal paste. Same thing on here. On the CPU side, all you want to do is clean up the die. Don't worry about the extra thermal paste around it. Don't go ahead and poke around it, otherwise you're going to damage the capacitors that are around there. So make sure you just remove the thermal paste, which is on the top level on the crystal die. You don't need to go crazy removing all the thermal paste around. If it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't, don't go crazy. Use an old toothbrush to remove the thermal paste off there. If you want to do a second pass, go ahead and do a second pass. And what you want to do right now, you want to grab your favorite thermal paste. I use the Arctic MX4, or you can use even a better one, which is the Thermal Grizzly. These are one of the toppest one. But as we're doing for client, we're going to use this one. I'm just going to do a line in the middle, cross. Just like that. Put fair amount, don't worry about it. The excessive is just gonna go all around it. And once you did that and you clean up this side, you can remove let's put this one to one side. And to clean up the fan, it's really easy. Just remove these clips right here, lift it up a little bit, and pull it backward. And the fan should come out just like that. You can use a toothbrush, go ahead and clean this one up. If the fan is making noise and if it's dry, I'm going to show you guys how to clean up the fan nicely. You want to need another working towel. And use any cleaner that you want. I'm using any for plastic. Just soak it in there. Grab it from this end, stick it right there and just turn it around. So that way you can get it right in between. Clean that one up. And let's see, to do service for the fan, you need to remove this tape right on the top, this black tape. So just poke it through. And rip it off. There we go. Once you remove the fan, there is a C-lock. There's a C-lock right in the middle. Right there, there's a C-lock. We need to open this C-lock in order we can drop down the fan. So grab a tweezer, poke it right there. So pretty much the C-lock is right there. So I'm gonna put this one through. I'm gonna push it so it opens and we can remove the clip. I'm gonna use 2 tweezers. So I put it there. And with this tweezer, I'm just gonna try to open it up. There we go. I'm pushing the middle pin, so it should drop it down. There we go. And this is the C-lock that I was talking about. So what you want to do, you want to stick it right there and open it up so you can drop the pen right underneath. And then you want to gently, with your fingers, just close it back, just like in that position. And you don't want to lose this at all. And now you can just by pulling down the fan right there. It's bone dry. There's a spring right in the middle, and it's bone dry. So we're gonna clean it up and we're gonna lubricate it. The way that we're gonna clean it up, first we're gonna remove all the dust. You can wash it out nicely the way that you want it. It doesn't matter as long as you dry it out afterward. So clean up nicely. Alright, now that is cleaned up, we're gonna use an alcohol. And we're gonna put an alcohol right inside the pan in the towel. And what we're gonna do the same thing with an alcohol. We're gonna just rub it around inside by the magnet. So we remove all the dirt, everything. There we go. This part you just want to clean it with a toothbrush. Don't put anything in here. You can spray alcohol if you want to remove any dirt, and then you just want to clean it up. Any excessive dust or anything like that, and leave it for dry, and leave it to dry out. Now what we're gonna do once it's dried out, we're gonna put back down the spring right there, and we're gonna grab our oil. This is lubricant, and we're gonna just lubricant, put it right on the pan a little bit, not excessive, just a little bit on both ends, just about 2 drops. And now we're gonna grab it and we're gonna bring the other one over and put it through. Just move it around. Just make sure that it's moving nicely. Take it out and put it back. Make sure the spring is working. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna push it inward and I'm gonna inject a little bit of more lubricant right inside here. Just like that. About 2 or 3 drops probably. Alright, now that is in there and it's working fine. Now we're gonna put the lock on it. But we cannot put it on because the fan is still low, so we need to fill up something on the bottom. So what can we put underneath? I'm just gonna grab a medicine cap, put it right in there, put the fan on top, so once I press on it, the pen comes up. Put it right over. Alright, and push it down and grab it from both sides and push it towards the bottom. Now that's gonna just lock it down. Just once in there, just pinch it. Make sure it's in place. Now that fan is not coming out and it's not going anywhere. And with the lubricant that it has, it's gonna last longer time. Now to cover it back on, we cannot use the old foil tape that it had. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab a aluminum tape, a higher gauge, and we're just gonna cut it, do it at your own style, do a round cut, use a Coke cap or something, doesn't matter, it's not gonna show up, so just eyeball it. Okay, and now just stick it right on top and use our plastic smooth plastic to just rub it in, make sure it stays there and it prevents the oil coming out. Don't poke in the middle. Alright. And that's how you service your fan. If you have a noisy fan, this is how you fix. Now we have this one cleaned up. I'm gonna clean up a little bit more. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna grab the fan and we're gonna put it down in this position, and then we're gonna snap it to place. Alright, that's how you service your fan. Now we have the motherboard over here. So what are we gonna do right now? To put the fan back in, we have to pay attention where the cable is. The cable is in here, so the cable has to go right here. So we cannot put it the other way around, otherwise the cable is not gonna reach. So keep the orientation, because once you put it in, we're not gonna lift it up. So bring it in this position, align it right there, and put it towards the motherboard, and don't let go. And don't let go, just hold it like a sandwich right there. And then bring it over and keep it in that position. Now once you have it with your hand, don't let go at all, otherwise it's gonna create an air bubble. So what you want to do, you just hook one end, bring it straight over, make sure it's aligned, and with your thumb just push it towards the motherboard and you're gonna hear click. And do this one right now. And press on all of them. You have to press one by one, press on each one of them. Now once you did that, the heatsink is in place. You can go ahead and put the fan cable, otherwise you're gonna forget it. Now we're gonna grab the bottom tray, bring it over, put it right there, and align it and bring it down. Push the corner towards the tray, make sure it sits down in its place. Right there. Once in its place, put these two risers right here. Put that one right over here. And the last riser right over there. Alright, now we're gonna flip it upside down. We're gonna put the heatsink screws down first. Put the 4 screws for the USB side and the power jack. Once we finish down here, you're gonna flip it back upward. You're gonna start putting the parts in. Grab the hard drive. Now you can go ahead and clean it up with a towel. Don't spray anything on top. This says don't cover this hole. So make sure you don't have to spray any liquid on top. Press the SATA cable, the power connector. Align it, make sure it sits down nicely. There's a little tiny legs here. They have to go right inside the holes. Grab the optical drive. Bring it over, align it. Again, make sure the back legs sit down nicely. Plug in the SATA and plug in the power. Once you're done down here, you want to grab the bottom tray and put it right inside the tray. Before we continue, clean up your workplace. So if there's any extra thermal paste, old thermal paste here, you want to clean it up. And once you clean up your workplace, now we need to put the front panel. grab the front panel, grab it from here, lift it up a little bit, and plug it right in there. And put the 3 screws that you removed from the front side. Alright, now that we have everything set, and next step is to grab the top cover, hold it in the air with one side, and just plug in this jack in there. It only goes in one direction. Just push it down. Alright, now you can align it right on top. Bring it down. Do a little cleaning, more cleaning on the top side. Alright, now you want to pop in the Wi-Fi cable right there, align it on top, and just push it towards the board. Grab the audio, the speaker. If you don't want yours doing beep sound, just unplug this one. Alright, now before we put the Wi-Fi board, change your bed and put the screw right here. Now you can grab the Wi-Fi board, align it, and press it down and put the jack on top. This Wi-Fi board, you can clean it up with a toothbrush. You don't want to put liquid on top of this one. Grab the small bit, the last 2 tiny screws, and attach it right on top. Next, we want to start putting the last screws right over on the C5, on the right here now, on the C2, C4, C1, and the last one should be back here. One more, C7. Let me see if I'm not missing any more screws. No. Wherever it says C and number, just place it right there. This screw is just to hold the bottom tray with the Xbox. It's not anything that important, so you don't need to tighten up so hard. Just firmly, just tighten it up firmly. Once we have these ones in there, we are almost done. You want to grab the most important part, the front panel. You want to align it. Once you align these hinges right here, you want to hold it in a position, let me see, in this position. You want to open, if your jack is closed, open up the jack by pulling these 2 triggers forward. It should be a 1 millimeter gap. Now you want to stick this one right underneath the jack. You don't want to stress up too much the, let me see if I can do this in the camera so I can do it easy. So I'm holding it like that. I'm gonna slide it from the back end. It has to be underneath. There. Once you got it right underneath, you want to start closing the jack, and the rest is just gonna come, and this should go over. So this will prevent it from coming out. Once you have it in there, grab it, align the hinges. So make sure the hinges are aligned right there at the bottom. These hinges right there. And then you just want to bring the cover upward and leave it in this position flat. And make sure your bottom is really nicely flush closed. All right, and Next, we'll be grabbing the top cover. Align the back end first. Make sure the back corners are aligned. Bring it over. Now, this is the important one. You want to grab the front panel and pull it towards yourself a little bit. And bring this one down. And then push this one towards the top cover. And the back one, just squeeze. And if you see something like that, don't worry about it. You just have to open the back end and stick it in the right correct position. And you can do that easily. Same way that we removed the side panel. So open it up a little bit. Make sure it's in place. And there we go. Nicely done. Nicely in place. And grab the triangle. And slide it right there. I don't know, you guys didn't see that. It was this one right here. So you want to grab this one, put it right there in a slide position, just push it toward the back. That's the lock holding these two together. And the last thing is to grab the cover, bring it evenly over, and then just press it down. And that's it. And that's all. And that's how you service and maintain, do your own maintenance, repaste, and clean up your fan and do a oil change on your fan. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you guys did, click that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. And if you guys subscribe, it will be a really great help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.